truth or not to truth? That is the question. James Cream with the answer in Truth or Fake. Great to see you, our daily fact-checking segment. First up this evening, claims that unvaccinated Australians will be rounded up in detention centres. Struth, mate.
It's not truthful. I suppose I've given the whole game away now, but
it's not struth, no.
It's struth and truth sound similar, but what does truth mean? I can't remember.
Truth, I think.
Okay, it's not.
God's truth, I think it's short for you.
It's Antux, as they say in French, and this is the French page for Les Observateurs, which is the observers in French. Anyway. It's our observers team that have been looking into this. It's for now just on the French website. There is a video, Mark, that was doing the rounds. It's had 150,000 views on one link alone. Let's just take a look at what they're saying first. This is absolutely appalling. Double-fenced, electrified quarantine facilities being built in Queensland, Australia, to hold the unvaccinated. Let's take a look at an extract of that video, Mark.
Your new home if you're not taking some bad poison. You think these are just for people who are sick? Look at this. It's double fenced, double. They're not mucking around. This is the new world.
So there you go. The claim is that this was to do with those who had not yet been vaccinated against COVID-19. Now, a comment on that particular video was pretty sharp, I think it's fair to say. And more people, I think, do have this instinct to not trust everything they see on social media. For it to be proof, I'd need the name of the facility, the GPS coordinates, etc., etc. This is somebody saying, look, I'm a skeptic when it comes to content like this online. And guess what? He was right to be skeptical, because that was not what it claimed to be in the video. And if you look at some of the work that was done by the Observers team in terms of sleuthing online, they in the video it was claimed that this detention centre was in Queensland, Australia. So if you do some searching on Google Earth and whatnot, you can identify that there are a number of facilities in Queensland, in Brisbane, the capital. And if you then do Street View, you can match the images from the video with the facility in question, and it is not. And there were further documents unearthed by the observers that ascertained, Mark, that the facility in question that there was a tender issued for it in 2017, so well prior to the pandemic, and it's near Brisbane Airport, and it's a detention centre for immigration, for processing immigration. Nothing at all to do with the pandemic. So there you go. It's the kind of scaremongering that we can witness more and more of in the context, and there's always the contextual factor of I suppose a toughening of measures, real toughening of measures. This is Austria, for example, where we've seen that unvaccinated people are being requested to stay at home. So lockdowns for the unvaccinated. And also Australia's approach has been on the tougher end of things. Critics have said this is COVID-19 tyranny. So in the context of criticism of Australia's approach to things, that kind of a claim could be credible when normally it would seem utterly preposterous.
I mean, immediately Ted Cruz gets involved. It shoots the credibility of any story, doesn't it? Let's face it, right. But there you go.
But with headlines like that, people would be more likely to believe stories, tall tales such as the one we just saw. So it had nothing to do at all with the
certainly the video of the detention centre just seemed like it was bogus from the very start,
right?
Didn't it? It was zero credibility.
And whether the person in the video or not believed it themselves is another question.
That's another question. Yeah. Maybe it'd be nice to sort of find them and ask them. Maybe. So, if you're watching,
what's your motivation?
Give us a call.
Why did you do this?
Tell us why you do these kind of things. We'd be interested to know. Let's carry on to the next story. A lot of attention here in France over the past week. Widely reported UFO sightings in the south of France. A UFO in French is an ovni. Ovni.
Also used to describe somebody who's a bit away with the...
A bit space, as they say. They say space, don't they?
You're an ovni. You're a UFO. I mean, it doesn't work.
You're a bit space.
In any case, it did get a lot of attention. This story, it was picked up by TF1, which is, I suppose, the main private channel here in France.
Main purveyor of truth.
This is it. They try at least. And the connection, UFO spotted repeatedly in the skies above southern France. So this is the key point here, the reason it was credible. The local weather service has compiled a video of the different sightings. So you would say the local weather service, they're probably, pretty clued in with what's happening in the skies around them.
Think so.
It's what they do. In any case, what happened here was this particular group of people here. We won't have the audio on it, but the guy to the right, the guy in the centre is a guy called Rémi Gaillard. He's a well-known hoaxer here in France, and this gentleman here is the guy behind the Gare weather service. So he basically joined forces to hoodwink media left, right and centre across the country. And if I could just show you the video in question. So you can see here, right, Météo Gare. So this is the local weather channel. And the video showed sort of, spooky music, etc. And OVNI aperçu dans le ciel de Montpellier. And so all of this, because it was published on the local weather service, seemed quite credible and was picked up.
The minute they start using the X-Files tune, I think is a cue that this is all bogus, isn't it?
Well, you would think so. But
the truth is out there.
That's it. To give you a sense.
Mulder and Scully.
If this is it, it should. But here you can see they've edited it into their video that there were various media picking up on this. Anyway, it gave them the opportunity to say, oh, well, what were the fact checkers doing about this? But they were trying to kind of,
They were poking fun at the fact checkers, in fact.
They were.
They've got a problem with the fact checkers, haven't they?
Maybe they do. It's not funny.
Yeah, anyway, they have a very nice cow. That's all I'm going to say. It looks absolutely fantastic. And that cow is
that
the
we
truth.
can agree on. It's truthful, yes.
Definitely. You can't disagree with cattle. James, thank you very much indeed. Truth or Fate with James Creed, as ever. Straight down the line. Good stuff. Great to see you. Thanks again to Kate for the business. Thanks to you for watching too. Stay with us. More to come live from Paris.